Okay. I
All right,
can
hold
hear
on.
you this time.
All right, just a second.
Okay.
All right, y'all gotta wait just a second. Sorry, Dora.
That's okay. No problem.
Hold on, let me get these two out of here.
Hi.
Whoever else that can't come out, they better hurry up. That's it, tell them that's it. And later on, find out. All right, Laura, let's get started.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
Good. I'm doing well.
Good.
Things going well over there?
Yeah, today is our first day. We're just getting started on 2 new books.
Okay.
Yeah, the first book, I don't know, this is going to be kind of tough because the kids have no idea of the westward expansion. They know nothing about it. But what the book is saying is that they should know something about it, but they know nothing about it. So the information I gave them today is probably all that they know about the westward expansion.
Yeah.
So what I did was this here. I just went through and kind of showed them what we're going to be doing as far as the organization. So I came up with my headings, expanding the land, and then some of the things that fall underneath that, the Oregon Trail, and some of the things that fall underneath the Native Americans fall under that in the Gold Rush.
Yeah.
I'm going to go through, whatever the lesson is.
Yeah.
He has me to do. But what I need from you,
Yes.
I need some way of making this so simplified. I'm not,
Yeah.
yeah.
And now you're kind of doing two things, right? Now you're teaching history.
Right.
And you're teaching writing.
Right. Yep.
Right. So how do you bring those two things together, right?
Right. And the thing about it is, it's supposed to help them research. So it's research reports. But we just finished up a lesson on research, so they should be pretty good at that.
Okay. And so, what is the reading? So is that the writing sort of standard for this unit? Is how to research and then write? What is their end product? What are they supposed to do at the end?
A book. It looks like they are going to be completing a book.
Okay.
Westward expansion. So it's organize their journey for the journey ahead, writing a flash draft, note-taking, idea-making for revision. Writers of history pay attention to geography. Writing to think. Writers of history draw on an awareness of timelines. Letter to teachers assembling and thinking about information. And redrafting our research reports. So actually, they called it a book at the beginning, but I think it's gonna be more of a research report, right?
Okay. Got it. And so it sounds like there's also some sort of specific things they want them to be able to write. They want them to be able to write in terms of obviously the history and the geography, but also with correct timelines. And the different topics. And now, are you going to have them kind of write in general about it, or is each student going to pick a particular part of the westward expansion to write about?
It looks like they have, the way that the book is set up, they have to write their own. And it has to be, I'm going to do it in different chapters.
Yeah.
So I'm going to come up with the information for them. So I think I'm going to stick with those subheadings that I have.
Yeah.
And maybe have them do 2 to start off with.
Okay. I see. But they'll kind of be just writing about it generally, right? Okay, yeah. That's I think, it's going to be tricky since they don't have a ton of background knowledge on it, but at the same time, they probably didn't have a huge amount of background knowledge on the last unit you guys did either. So it's just a matter of making it interesting to them, right? And finding a way to keep them engaged.
Right.
Okay, good. Do you have specific questions at this point that you wanted to focus on?
Anything that you could suggest? Are there any templates I could use? stuff, that's what I need.
For like what exam?
I know I didn't have enough sticky notes. In the book, they suggested that I start off with them, having sticky notes. Which, what the book said is that they may or may not have the knowledge, which is okay, because what this is going to teach them how to do the research on it.
Right.
I need something to help them to organize, because tomorrow we are going to be going, and actually, you know what? Really, I could stick to what they have here.
Yeah.
This says sends writers off to collect and categorize their Post-it notes. But my thing is, these books really, to me, are for kids that have been in the Lucy Calkins book, from first grade.
Yeah.
So a lot of this is just going to be new to the kids. And it looks like the way that they have it set up, they have, like a heading Outlaws. And underneath that, they have Jesse James, Billy the Kid, Robert, or Real Heart, and the expansions, the Gold Rush. So they give an example of what the kids can, do their subheadings under. I'm wondering, because I haven't made it completely through the book.
Right.
I'm not for sure of what the final, what's going to come out, at the end.
Of this unit?
Yes.
Yeah. So 2 things. I think you should definitely take some time. And you just started this, right? You said today you started it? Okay. So definitely, take your time and try to understand what the final product is for them. Whether that means, tonight you just have to read through that unit all together and just figure that out. But you definitely want to know what the end result is going to be, so that as you're guiding them along, you can kind of help them decide what they need and what they don't need. I think something that's going to be helpful to you, right after I visited you, another principal that I'm working with who also uses Lucy Calkins gave me this really great document that I think you might find helpful. I had shared it with you. I'm not sure if you saw it or not. I'll share it with you again right now.
Okay.
Let me I'll send it to you. I sent you, it's a Google Doc, so I just sent it to your email. But what I really liked is it kind of helped break down the lessons from the book.
Okay.
And it shows, tell me when you're looking at it, and I'll kind of walk you through it. And it kind of just shows you how to organize the lesson itself a little bit more, because I know that the book itself can get a little she's very wordy.
Very, yeah.
And it's sometimes it's hard to pull out exactly what's important and what's not important.
Okay.
So, do you have the document open?
Okay, opening it now.
Okay.
All right, I have it. Okay.
You see, it's like a table. So let me just kind of quick walk you through it for a second here. So what this principal did is to help her teachers, is she kind of took, you can see the first column is the name of the section from the book, what Lucy calls it.
Right.
And then kind of what it is, how long it should take, and then certain things that you should be doing and what the students should be doing at the same time. Okay. So for example, when you're looking at your...
Now I do my lesson plan this way. Okay.
Yeah. This will kind of help you think about how to break up your lesson, and as you're going through the book, what you should be looking for. So so the first section is the connection, right? And that's just kind of reminding them whatever they did yesterday. And so that should really just be a minute or so where you just introduce them and maybe they answer a couple questions or whatever. But then, okay, so then the next part is the teaching point, right? Which she has, and that's really your objective for the lesson each day. And so I think it's really important that when you're looking at her lesson plans, you can identify what is the teaching point for that day, and can you put it into your own words almost?
Right. Hold on just a second. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Elijah. Out of my class. No, you guys have to come for lunch. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. Elijah. Come here. Stop talking. Got it. I'm not doing nothing. Stop. Stop. Okay, so then come here, Mom. Right? No, I'm not supposed to be next. It does not stop talking to me. You know what? Stop. Okay, you guys. No, okay, you stop. I'm not pushing you. But what I'm telling you is that you are going to be respectful while keeping your mind on zero. Oh. All right, Laura. Sorry about that.
Oh, okay. No, they're probably used to coming into your room, right?
Yeah.
So anyways, let's see. We were talking about the teaching point. That's
Right.
just the objective, which I think you're kind of getting the hang of, like naming the objective, right? And
Yeah, the objectives are written out for the whole week. I already have those on the board, so the kids know exactly, what the objective is. Yeah.
Good. So that's just a minute or less telling them what the objective. So then the next part is the teaching, and this is like your I do. So what she calls teaching in the book is sort of like your I do part of the lesson, right? Which you try to keep to being like 5 to 10 minutes long. And so, for example, like you were saying today, they had to take some notes and put them on sticky notes. Is that kind of what you were doing?
I did the I do, where I actually wrote down what I knew about that, about the subject. And when I took notes, those were, the I do. I mean, that's the part that I did. I took my notes, and then I began to organize. So that was the I do.
Okay.
We do. I kind of went back, and I only did one section, so I did expanding the land. I did the I do with that, and then I did we do with the Gold Rush and Native American. So they know what to do, but right now they just don't have information because they don't know anything, and that's what the book said. They really don't know anything about it.
Right. So like and what was today's objective for the lesson? What was
today's objective was I can get ideas. Oh, no. I can organize the information that I know about my topic, which helps me to write about my topic.
Okay. So stuff they already know. So like accessing anything that they might know about it. And then tomorrow, I'm guessing then they're going to actually go and like start to use some resources to learn more about it. Is that what's going to happen?
Right.
Okay. So today's lesson, okay. So anyways, if we go back into that document, let's talk about tomorrow's lesson. So the I do part for tomorrow, if you were looking at this chart, you're going to model it. So tomorrow they're going to actually like use some actual, maybe go on a website, I would assume.
Right.
You're going to have a handout for it. Probably they'll go on the internet and start to look for stuff. Yep. So when you're doing the I do, you should model how they're going to do that, right? So internet up and open, and I would actually yourself like try to find something and just narrow it down. So maybe, okay, yesterday I realized this is how you could model it, right? Like yesterday I realized that I don't know a lot about the gold rush, for example. So that's a category where I'm going to start to take I need to go and find some information. So I'm going to go, and I don't know if you have specific sites you send them to or what you do, but
we get printouts or I email them the specific websites and where they have to go.
Okay. So you would say, I emailed everybody this specific, website. It's in your email. Let's go to the email. Let's find it. Let's open it. And then you want to model for them like how you want them to be taking notes from that website. So do you know, like tomorrow, for example, like how you plan on having them, like when they're getting the information, what do you want them to do with it? You want them to type it into another document? Do you want them to write notes on a piece of paper? What should they be doing with the information?
They're going to be taking notes. Where is it? Hold on. Well, you know what, the way the book is written, It's
Yeah.
written for them to do as groups, but I need to, that's where I get stuck a lot of the times.
Yeah.
How am I going to model this so that, they know exactly what to do? Because, right, flash drafting is doing your research, but see, it's kind of odd. The book said they shouldn't know anything about it, but then they want them to flash draft tomorrow. How can you flash draft about something if you don't have notes on it or information on it?
Right. And so this is where your judgment as a teacher is going to come in. Like, you clearly need to spend a few days just getting research done since they have no prior knowledge on this topic. Like, you're going to need to probably just dedicate a couple of days, and it's not going to necessarily follow exactly what the book has, because otherwise, I mean, I would have them research it for a couple of days and then go back and follow. So then they want them to realize, or you could have them flash draft, but then they're going to come out of it and be like, well, we don't have enough to write about, which might be a lesson in of itself, and say, okay, well, then if we know we don't have enough to write about, we better go find some more information. But I think it's safe to say that they probably already know that they don't know enough. So I would spend a couple days. So anyways, if you go back to that document, what I would do then is, if you email them, you still have to decide, though, like, how do you want students to be, like, organizing information after, when they're researching it? Like, what do you want them to do with it? Take notes in a notebook, fill in a graphic organizer? Like, how would you like them to organize information that they're getting?
Is there a template that I could use? I mean, I think what I should do is tell them what they're going to be, like, if I want them to do on the Gold Rush, then I'm going to have them actually, do the research on the Gold Rush.
Right.
I want them first to take a look at what this is.
Yeah.
Westward, first of all, what that is, and I want to, demonstrate how to do that.
Right.
But I don't know how to, what am I looking for? I know it's they have to take notes on it, but how do I do the I do in order to help them for the key points?
Well, that's where you have to, like, decide how you want them to organize so when they are actually doing it themselves, what do you want them to do with the information? And then once you can answer that, then you know how to model it yourself, right? So if you look ahead in the book, for example, does it in the upcoming lessons, does it give more ideas about, like, how to, or like in the last unit when they had to research stuff, what did they do with the information? Like, how did they save that information?
They had to write a chapter on, each topic. So the last time we did teen activism, that was easy because teen activism, they already know a lot of information on that.
But, like, as they were reading through websites and stuff, you just had them writing, like, as they were working on it, or did they?
Each night, every day in class, they had to research a specific activist.
Right.
So, like, the first night they did Malala, and they had to take notes on Malala, key points on Malala.
And how did they take notes? In a notebook or on the computer?
Yep, in a notebook.
Okay, so I would follow that same exact format for this.
But my thing is, like, I like that format, but these kids need to start from the basics. Is there a template where I can help them to, exactly.
Okay.
Because we did the organizer that you gave me, but I don't know.
Yep, I hear you. Hang on, let me quick Google 5th grade research. What comes up? A graphic organizer. I mean, maybe it's just as simple as, like, making a really simple form that says, like, the topic on top. So if they're doing Gold Rush, they'd fill in Gold Rush. Okay. And then, like, underneath it you have, like, what is it? Why did it happen? When did it happen? Why is it important to us now? Just basic who, what, when, where, and how questions. And as they're researching different things, they have to fill in those questions. You know what I mean?
Yep, that makes sense.
and like they just get one of those forms for each topic that they're going to have to research.
Okay.
And like I would just make a really big deal about like they cannot lose these because they're not going to be able to do their final project if they lose their notes, right? And that's
Right.
where discussing their organization is going to come in really handy. So then what I would do tomorrow is, for your I do, if we go back to that form, your I do is you modeling how to fill that in. So like you pick one topic, let's say the gold rush, and I would have them do it right along with you. So like you have a piece of paper and they have the same exact piece of paper in front of them, and you're on a website like modeling how to find information about the gold rush. And maybe you just model like the who and the what and the why. I don't know, like putting so reading through the website and like modeling how you're thinking. So you maybe read through a paragraph and be like, okay, I just read this paragraph and it told me that the gold rush happened from 19 whatever to whatever. Okay, so those are the years that it happened. That's a pretty long time ago. I'm going to write some notes about that and the when, right? And then model how to fill out the form. And model that and ask them questions as you're going along to make sure that they get like what you're doing.
Okay.
And then you could, if you look on that form that I sent you, so the next part is called active engagement, right, which is like the we do part, which would be another 5 to 10 minutes. And so it lets now the students get to practice what you just modeled. So maybe you fill in the who and the what part of the form, and then you say, okay, I want you now to read these next 3 paragraphs from this website or look on this website, and I want you to see if you can figure out the why. Like, why was the gold rush important? Okay. And I want you to read like just this page. You can read. You have 5 minutes to read it, and then start to write on your paper like, why was the gold rush important, or what happened in the gold rush, whatever makes sense, right, on the form. I would have them do it by themselves, you know, just to get used to it. Give them 5 minutes, make sure they're all quietly, and that's all they're working on. Like, you know, they shouldn't have other notes out. They shouldn't be doing anything else other than just that. Everyone should be on the same website, you know, looking at the same thing just for this part of the lesson.
Okay.
And then you could have them try it, and then they could share out, like, so they get to share out to the whole class. Okay, well, I think that this is why the gold rush is important, or I found that this is why the gold rush, you know, talk about it.
Okay.
And then after that, now you have, and like if you look on this chart, the principal is identifying, this part's not really like laid out in the Lucy Calkins, but now you give them time to actually continue working, right?
Right.
So now you give them, like, maybe you give them a second form, and you say, okay, now I want you guys, we just research stuff for the gold rush. Now I want you to research stuff for, I don't know, what's another topic that you said you wanted to cover?
Expanding the land.
Okay, expanding the land. Is that a big topic or one of the subheadings?
The big topic. No.
Okay.
The big topic is westward. So that's not the big topic.
Okay. So expanding the land. So then I would give them a second template. Have them fill out expanding the land on top. Give them the websites that you want them to look at, and say, now you have like 15 minutes, or maybe even less. I would kind of chunk it out and say 10 minutes individually on your own, where you're just like looking at this website and taking down information about expanding the land.
Okay.
And let them work on it for like 10 minutes. Well, you can walk around the room and like make sure they're on task, help answer individual questions, stuff like that, right?
Okay, you're right.
And then, you know, Lucy always has this thing called the link in her lesson plans too. Which is where after you've kind of circulated, and then you see, maybe you find somebody who's doing a really good example of it, right?
Right.
Stop everybody's working. Use the student's example to then link in like the next step, right, or the next thing that's going to take them kind of to the next point. So for example, tomorrow, let's say you have a student who did a really thorough job of filling out their template, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they also like cited, maybe they wrote down like the website from where they got the information, because later on they're going to have to go back and like cite the information, right? When
Right.
they're writing. So I would maybe then like take a student's example and take it up to your projector so that everyone can see it and say, okay, everyone like stop writing, pencils down, eyes up here. Let's take a look at so-and-so's work and, you know, notice the really good things that they were doing here. Like, what did they do really well? Well, they were really thorough and they cited their work, or they didn't just write like two little ideas. They came up with like really good, thorough ideas. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah.
And then if there's more time, then you can let them go back to work and like continue to flesh out their ideas, things like that.
Right, because this, you know, they were bored. I mean, I know my kids, I need to, and I'm losing them.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't want to lose them this time around because they got so far behind.
Yeah. So I think what I would do is I would take like a few days where maybe you are doing following this sort of template and just letting them gather information about it.
Okay.
And then so like maybe tomorrow is just like what we walk through, and then the next day they can maybe you model for them like how to then work as a partner and like do the same topics, but now I want you to partner up and see if you can find even more information, right?
Okay.
So like, and model for them what that would look like. So my partner is so and so. I'm gonna take my information and I'm gonna take his or her information, and we're gonna talk about it. And we're gonna go back into the website and like see if we can find even more information, or maybe we can share, you know, to like just to get them to start building that background knowledge. Because I agree with you that it's gonna be really hard for them.
Okay.
And then when you feel like they have like at least a good amount of information to start writing, then you can go back into the Lucy lessons. And I would really encourage you to kind of follow this template that I sent you.
Yeah. I use this. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
To kind of help you model out like, okay, whatever I want them to be doing, like I just want to model it for them for like 5 minutes.
Okay.
And I would here's one tip, what I noticed from when I was there. When you are modeling, like I would make sure, like if they don't need the computers while you're modeling, like, make sure they're shut. Yeah, like make sure they only have on their desk like what it is that you want them, like no other notes, just that one thing, so that they're with you for those 5 minutes.
Okay.
And then when it's their time to work, okay, then take out the computers, you know, get everything out, whatever they need.
Okay.
Does that make a little bit more sense?
Yep. Yeah.
Do you think you can make a template, or do you want to like see if we can find it?
I just found some online.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
What I'll do is I'll print out a lot of these.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this should work. Let's see. Accountability. I know that I'm going to be sending them home with this work, and that's the biggest problem is them losing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they get an extra $5 a day. They come back with their parent's signature.
Right.
Things like that. So, anything else you could think of that I could, you know?
Well, and like, do you have, so like this stuff that they're going to take notes on, like do they have to take it home? Like are you going to want them to work on it at home?
I do, but you know what? Maybe I'll just keep it here. That's what I have to do. And then just have them do other work at home, because if tomorrow,
or maybe send like a blank one home.
Yeah, that's
like
what I
keep the ones they do in class in the classroom, and then just send another blank one home with them and say, okay, now research this topic tonight when you get home.
Okay.
Because yeah, I know it's like, and like, does your school have colored paper that you can make copies on by any chance? I would even make these sheets like on pink or blue or something.
Okay.
And say, these are so important because this is all our information. Like, so they're so important. I put them on a different color paper so that we don't lose them, you know?
All right.
And then, yeah, I would try to keep whatever you can keep in the classroom, I would keep in the classroom.
Okay.
I would also, I don't know what the templates are that you have, but just knowing that eventually they're going to have to cite their work.
Right.
I would make sure that there's somewhere on the template where they have to, like, you could add maybe a box or something. I can't really see it.
Oh, it's just like squares. It says who, what, when, where, how, why.
Okay.
I think it's gonna, I don't know if that's gonna be enough room for them to write in that.
Yeah, that looks kind of small. I wonder if you could do like a...
Oh, here's a big one here. Well, that's, what are you thinking? Like a page for who? A page for what?
Well, I don't know if they would need that much.
No. Here's one here. Can you see that? The 5 W's?
Yeah, I feel like you might need a little something like bigger than that. And like age. Let me see what if I can find anything here. Because you definitely, I mean, obviously if they need more space, they could always work on a different piece of paper, but you want to like keep them organized too.
Right.
But anyways, my thought was going to be to add like maybe a box or column or something where they have to like make sure that they write down the website or site like wherever they're getting it from, so that later on they can go back into it and make sure that they know where they got it from, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise that's going to be a nightmare later on too.
Yep, you know it.
Here, I'm trying to see. This is... Well, I could also look. But
I'll keep looking. So.
Yeah. I mean, or maybe you could just quick make one too. I know it's easier just to find one, but.
Okay. So we're really doing the who, what, when, where. Are we doing the why? Oh, 5 W's, yeah.
I would definitely do the why. Maybe even how.
Right. Okay, right. That's another one, the 6th one. What is, let me see, for 8th grade, I'm doing, who, they are actually doing the who, what, where, and why. They're doing journalism for 8th grade, 7th and 8th grade.
Okay.
And there is, let me see what they have for theirs, because right now I'm finalizing 8th grade. Theirs is debate. They're debating right now. So
okay.
Last day for that. But let me see. I think they have who, what, when, where, the 5 W's. Man, I could have sworn I saw this 5 W's. I'm looking at my objectives. Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's 8th grade. So I wonder if she has some sort of.
Yeah, maybe she even has one that you could use.
Yeah. Because there's a who, they're doing their journalism. They're doing the 5 whys. Who, what, when, where, why.
Okay.
And hers isn't a template, but it's just showing how they need to be taking notes. Okay. All right, but I can find something. That should be good. Yeah.
You think you could find something?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, or maybe it's like front and back, right? Like.
Yeah.
You know,
and if not, I can create something real quick too.
Yeah, I think you could. I would just make sure there's enough space for them to write take some notes, and then, like I said, somewhere where they have to, like, for each part, write down either the website or the article or whatever it is that they took the notes from.
Okay.
So that they know, like, where to go back and cite the information from if they have to. And I would just encourage you to, like, make sure that you have your I do part, like, pre-planned as best you can.
Okay.
So, like, even I would actually, like, if this is what you're going to do tomorrow, I would actually even probably, like, go through and, like, figure out ahead of time, okay, I'm going to go to this website for the Gold Rush. This is what I'm going to pull out of it.
Okay.
I mean, you'll write it down, like, as you're doing it, modeling it, but, like, I would plan ahead of time. What do I want to pull out to show them this is how I'm going to take notes on this, you know? Just so you don't run into, like, a situation where you get to a website and then you realize it doesn't have the information, and, you know, you want to make it a good model and keep it as quick as you can so they get to working. Okay?
So I got that. Yeah, and I've been working on the I do, we do, you do.
Yeah.
And I think my biggest piece is finding, which that was the whys, which is, you know, finding a form for them to take notes. That, so I have that. Now, just more of the accountability piece. Now I know I can just have them, you know, I could just hold on to them.
Yeah.
Give them to them. But I'm stuck on having them go home and do something.
Yeah. Well, I think it's good to make them go home and do something. I would just, because I agree that they need to, you know, that's just a good matter of discipline, right? Like, they need to do that. I would just make sure that, like, the majority of what they're going to need for their end product is done in class.
Okay.
So that way, like, you know, or if eventually they're writing drafts and stuff, it's saved on the computer, right? So, like, at least it's there, and, like, you can't lose it if it's on the computer, hopefully. Okay. You know what I mean? So, but for this kind of stuff, I would try to keep as much of it as you can in the classroom.
Okay.
And then, like we said, send them home with a blank one, and if they don't come back with it, obviously they're going to be hurting, you know. If they don't come back with their homework, do you make them still do it, like, the next day, or stay in for, like, I don't know if they have recess or if there's a time where you can.
I'll have them come to, you know, the end of the day to finish it, or they have to finish it right there in class before they leave.
Okay.
Because you can't move on if you're not doing the work. You can't move on.
Right. Right. And you give, I would just be really consistent about, like, if they don't have their work done, that they have to come see you after school, or whatever the time is, and just be, and even, like, if they finish it in class, so, like, let's say they didn't do it, and then they come and they're able to finish it in class, I would still make them come and see you after school, because, like, they still need to have that consequence of, like, you didn't get the work done when you were supposed to, so you came to class and whatever, you know what I mean? Like, they still have to owe you time, basically, because they didn't follow through on getting it done when they were supposed to get it done. Or, like, if the next day they're going to work with a partner, like, they can't work with a partner if they don't have their work done, so, you know, then they're behind on that. So something along those lines. Just being consistent with them. But. All right. Do you feel like you... Go ahead.
I'll videotape tomorrow's first lesson.
Okay.
So you'll see both. You'll see 7th and 8th, and you'll see 5th and 6th.
Okay.
7th and 8th is more on journalism, but it's doing, you know, similar. You know, they're going to be reporters, so I'll videotape. And I'll send you those so you can take a look at those. Did we want to meet again? I think Thursday is the next. I don't know if you can meet again, or are we supposed to meet once a week?
Well, we can meet as often as you want to meet. Like, whatever, we're pretty good to go in terms of time. So, like, if you want to follow up more quickly, that's fine with me. We can meet whenever you want to meet again.
Okay, what I'll do is I'll shoot you an email.
Okay.
Let you know what my schedule looks like. Yeah, I know a lot of, I know I'm a dedicated teacher. That day we were off work, I was just like, I am nothing.
Well, I couldn't remember. You know what I did, because I always like put, if it's like your regular time for me, I'll put on my calendar. But then if like I haven't confirmed, I always put a question mark next to it just to make sure like I remember that I haven't confirmed with the teacher. And so I was like realizing after I had called you or whatever, I'm like, oh, I don't even think I ever confirmed this with her. So not a problem. I totally understand. Like, it's your day off. It's your day off. Like, don't even worry about it. No, I mean, we could just say like next Monday if you want to meet again, like a week from today.
Yeah, we'll have to do Tuesday. This 11 o'clock at work, that works perfectly for me.
Next Tuesday, you said, at 11 o'clock?
Yeah, or Monday, I'm sorry. I knew that.
Okay.
Yeah.
At 11. Okay, I do have one other teacher that I might have to meet with at that time.
Okay.
Um,
Let me see. I might have something in the afternoon. Let me just look.
yeah.
My next time will be 2:15. Or is that too late?
2:15 on Monday?
Yeah, it would have to be like 2:15 to 2:45.
Okay, I can
30
do
minutes.
that. 2:15?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that works on my schedule. We can do that. So 2:15. So let's do that. Let's just follow up again next Monday.
Okay.
So you can send me, and of course, if you have questions or whatever in between, like feel free to shoot me an email or anything. Like, I'm happy to help you. You know, like if you just needed somebody to help you brainstorm ideas, like we did today, that's fine.
Okay.
But yeah, otherwise we'll follow up then on Monday. You can send me a couple videos.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. You feel good about 7th and 8th grade? Like you feel like you got a good.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm so excited about this journalism. Oh, I'm excited about that. I mean, I like history, but
Yeah.
you know.
It's harder to get
So I
excited.
have to get my stuff.
Do they get to
Yeah.
kind of like pick their own topic in 7th and 8th grade, or do you pick the topic for them?
They get to pick their own, so it's so exciting. They're going to have to go around the school. We're going to take a walk around the school the second day, which is on Wednesday. So they're going to have to go around the school. We're going to walk around, and they're going to have to take notes as if you're a journalist. So that's exciting.
Yeah, that'll be more fun. Okay, cool. Awesome. Alrighty. Well, good luck with all of that. Is there anything else? So we talked about accountability and the template. Is there anything else?
Nope, not anything right now. But if I come up with anything else, then I'll shoot you an email.
Okay.
Rude. Excuse me. Excuse me. Go ahead. Okay, Laura. I appreciate everything.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime. I'm glad to hear things are going pretty well, and I'll look forward to chatting again next week then.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.